Iowa Emory Songer, Brett Sams for Tru Revelation 33, and we appreciate you for joining us. It is a fantastic night. Mike Savage on the call early. What a job by Joe Hager. How about that? We'll see him in our second to last fight of the evening. Unbelievable stuff on the national anthem tonight. I got pretty big goosebumps there. How about you, Brett?
Yeah, I absolutely had some goosebumps right there, and I think the whole crowd here was enjoying that national anthem. As you can tell when our nation's song is sang with some pride, and right there it was sang with some pride. That gave me some chills for sure.
Well, what we do have, as we talked about, you're going to be hearing Mike Savage on the call throughout the evening, and our first fighter is making his way here into the cage. Tru Revelation 33, and Eric Jackson going to be taking on Brandt Cooper. We'll talk about their numbers momentarily, but the first fight of the evening is on its way. And, of course, we'll be bringing you all the action here on the No Coast Network. Our first try at MMA here, Brett. I'm excited. We worked on wrestling quite a bit at the amateur level, a lot of amateur fights, and that's what our first half dozen of fights are going to be. They're going to be amateur fights, but a few title fights, a couple of pro fights at the end of the night as well. This should be a fun night.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to watching some good fighting. I definitely get into the UFC. I haven't made it to all that many of the local fights. I've been to a few, but I tell you what, they got a heck of a card here, as I know some of these guys fighting for titles tonight, and then a couple of them out of the pros. And I tell you what, it looks to be some hell of fights here tonight in the OTTUMWA.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to it, man.
Well, dude, I can't tell you how much that we are appreciative that we have such a great local promotion in Tru Revelation. Bob Jolly, the promoter, is going to be here, and he's going to be watching us he's helped us tonight for everything that we've needed. So appreciative to him and the Bridgeview Center as well for helping us get in here nice and early the last couple of days to help set up all of our rigs and equipment as we're going to have our first couple of competitors tonight getting set to go as our entire crew on hand. And we need to thank them as well. We'll talk about them throughout the night as well. But first things first, our first contest between Eric Jackson and Brandt Cooper, a couple of amateurs that are going to be fighting in the featherweight division. And these guys, they're going to be ready to go. I can tell you that right now. Brett, first thing that we need to talk about, first and foremost, is the rules of these things. Of course, we'll have Mike Savage take you through each and every fight, getting you set with the weights and what each of these guys are bringing to the table as they get set to go. But we'll be bringing all the action to you blow by blow, hold by hold here for Tru Rev 33.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now the first fighter here is Eric Jackson. Just made his way into the ring, and he looks awful excited and ready to get underway. I tell you what, this type of stuff gets my blood flowing a little bit here. It's hard to watch this and not get a little pumped up and ready to see some blows being thrown here.
Well, that's what I saw when we first got here. You were definitely looking to try to get yourself in the cage with somebody. You were asking anybody to get into the cage with you while we got set to go. As his opponent, Brandt Cooper, is on the way. As you see Brandt on his way to the cage tonight. Big thanks to all of the fighters as well for helping us out, as everybody making sure that this is going to be a good production for us tonight here at the No Coast Network, and that's one thing that I'm sure excited about. And big thanks to our entire crew, our director, Miranda Keeler, our executive producer, and Rick Watts, our camera operators, Alyssa Phillips, Alyssa Carey, Titus Letzring, John Hurl, and as well as Connor Swim with helping do all the odd jobs that we have for him here tonight. This is going to be a good night, and everybody has a big hand in what we're doing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be hard to find somebody with a better production around this area than No Coast Network, and I've had the privilege of working with you guys over many high school sports and listening to you guys, watching a lot of the stuff you guys cover. You do a great job, and what a great venue here that Bob Jolly's got in Tru Revelation, as it's just absolutely rocking in here. It looks like a true professional, like maybe we might be set up in Las Vegas for the UFC fights, as he does a heck of a job of getting this thing ready to go. All the lights and all the cameras here, it looks great.
Yeah, it's high-level production. There's no doubt about that. And big thanks to Bob for helping us get set up in a perfect opportunity to be all the places that we want to be tonight. And that's exactly what we have. As you see, a nice close-up look at Brandt Cooper, who comes in to this particular fight. Brandt 7-6, and he's won 3 out of his last 4 fights dating back to last October. So he's on a hot streak. For Eric Jackson, he took a little time off. He's 6-6 as an amateur, and he actually has lost his last 5 fights, but 3 of those fights were back in 2010. Then he took about 7 years off before getting back into the cage in March of this year, but he's lost his first 2, both against the same opponent, Josh Neal, and he's going to try his hand against Brandt Cooper here tonight. We'll go ahead and go back to Mike Savage in the cage.
Contest is presented by America's Drive-In and is scheduled for 3-minute rounds. In the lightweight division, introducing first and fighting out of the blue corner, this mixed martial artist weighed in at 160 pounds. Representing the Central Illinois Combat Club and fighting out of Peoria, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen, Eric Crocodile Jackson. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, this fighter weighed in at 162 pounds. He represents the Midwest Martial Arts Group and is fighting out of Moline, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandt Cooper. Your referee for this opening contest is Ben Wilson.
This is in the light heavyweight division, and Brett, we're a good one here between a guy who's a little rusty and a guy that's been at it for a while and on a good fight streak, as Ben Wilson, our referee, is going to get us going here for our first fight of the night. And here we go. And the gloves touch, and we are underway. Jackson, of course, going to be trying to get his first win since early in 2010, back on January the 9th of 2010, the last time he's won an MMA fight, but he's here battling against Brandt Cooper, and they exchange a couple of kicks. Cooper is in the black trunks with the yellow stripe. The black and brown trunks with some white stripe on the side is Eric Jackson, as they continue to exchange some kicks. And now you see Jackson very aggressive, going all the way up against the edge of the cage. Look at Jackson go here, Brett. He's coming out with a lot of energy early.
Yeah, absolutely. He landed a couple nice overhand rights there, and it looks like it kind of backed Cooper all the way up against that cage, and he was able to land a couple more shots. But Cooper, he's done a great job here of coming right back at him, and they're getting underway. Nice body shots there by Jackson as he connects on two nice ones, and he's definitely getting the advantage here in the striking early.
Well, and he's definitely going after the body. He's not just going for headshots. He's trying to wear down Brandt Cooper. We mentioned Cooper's won 3 of his last 4 fights. He's been very active of late, whereas Jackson just came back earlier this year, not more than 4 months ago, with his first fight in 7 years. So as they continue to exchange some blows, and you can see Jackson really on the initiative here, and he's starting to go up at the head, and he's really going after him. A knee quickly here by Cooper just to get himself some real estate, but you can see definitely Eric Jackson coming with the fire early.
Yeah, he's a shorter fighter here as Jackson in this fighter, and he's really finding a lot of confidence and connecting well with that overhand right, as he's connected with some really nice ones to back up Cooper. And but credit Cooper here as he's not taking a back seat as a fading into the cage, and he's coming right back at Jackson here, and it's turned into a pretty good fight.
Yeah, they go back and forth here. Nobody's gotten on the ground yet. Good work by our camera crew giving you all the action here from the No Coast Network tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick at what the fighters once again are looking for. They are amateurs, no cash involved. All they're doing is trying to pick up a win, and as mentioned, Eric Jackson recently just back into it, 6-6, but has lost his last 5 dating back to 2009. So he's definitely going to get back in the win column, whereas the momentum of Brandt Cooper looking to try to continue that here in the light heavyweight division.
There's some real nice legs being connected by Cooper, and now he's teeing off as he pushes Jackson back against the cage. Jackson comes back with a couple right hands. There's a good kick by Cooper, and now he's kneeing.
Oh, and now.
And they're going to stop it? Well, that looks like one of those knees, I think, are in question.
And that's what referee Ben Wilson's talking to Brandt Cooper about. And there is some level of warning being initiated here.
Yeah, like I'm guessing one of those knees that he caught him with.
Well, and he's been pulling his head down as well. And I don't know the legality of that, but Ben Wilson nearly got interrupted the fight earlier. So he wants these two to now get back at it, and they'll touch gloves again. Nothing malicious, but illegal, according to referee Ben Wilson. And there's a nice high kick with the right.
I think with that kick is he'll be warned. He'll be warned before any points will be taken for this round. But there's a takedown there by Jackson as he gets right on top of Cooper, pulls full guard here. He's going to do his best to fight him off, make sure he can't pass that guard, and try to inflict as much damage as he can there from the bottom. But right now his main concern is going to be trying to stay in that full guard and make sure that Jackson can't pass here.
Yeah, and we're almost at the end of the first round, and indeed that is it for the first round as the fighters are going to go back to their corners. An interesting first round there, Brett, but it looked like definitely it was Jackson who was the initiator of pretty much everything that we saw most of the round.
Yeah, it was definitely a good round of fighting there. Jackson definitely came out as the aggressor and connected on a lot of the power punches early. Them overhand rights fell and connected well. But I tell you what, Cooper came back at the end of that round. He had some really good leg kicks, connecting really solid, and he just started putting things together there towards the end of that round. So I look for this fight to just get better and better here as it goes on.
Amateur fight, non-title fight. This is going to go 3 rounds, but you can see that these two guys, they definitely want to pick up wins. We talked about it. Each of these guys have kind of different reasons for picking up wins. Jackson just trying to get back in the winner's circle, and for Brandt Cooper, he's just trying to put himself in a position to get everything lined back up for his first win since 2009, which that's got to be daunting. That's almost 8 years since his last win.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that's been weighing on him for quite some time, but you take some time off, you figure out what you want to do, and obviously for him it was coming back to the ring, and he wants to start it off here and get on a winning streak here before long.
And he's going on the aggressive and the initiative again, once again really charging after Brandt Cooper. We saw them until maybe the last 20 seconds of the first round on their feet, trading strikes. A lot of kicking from Cooper and a lot of body blows is what we really saw out of Eric Jackson in the first round.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jackson's got to be careful here because he's coming out. He looks a little bit tired and his hands are starting to fall. And I tell you what, watching enough fights, you can tell you start dropping your hands and one's going to connect, and it could be good night. But he needs to be careful here as he gets tired that them hands don't drop.
Well, he's getting into the corner now. He's up against the cage, and now he fights himself out of it. He fights in flurries of punches, and now he's going to put right on the edge of the cage here is Cooper, and he's trying to switch spots. They both want to go on the offensive here. There's no doubt about it. And now Cooper really going after him right in front of us here. And they'll move it back to the middle.
Yeah, both these fighters do a good job of going in furies here. You'll see one of them really connect on about 5-6 straight punches, and then the other one does a great job of backing them off and getting into some combinations of their own. But here's Jackson drops in on a shot here as he tries to get that single leg. Cooper does a great job of getting that foot back to the mat and fighting that off. Now he's got Jackson in trouble up against the cage. He's looking at knee, and connecting on just vicious combinations here. And Jackson's in trouble. His head's falling.
Now he's got to do something quick.
Yeah, right now he's just getting pounded with these combinations, and Cooper's doing a great job. Knees to the stomach and then dropping out and hitting combinations to the head.
Oh, yeah, and he's definitely getting some big, heavy blows here now. Ben Wilson getting his head in there, making sure he sees everything that's happening, and now he's going for some lower shots as well. Cooper just trying to wear him all the way down, and now Cooper going to try to fight off what was an attempt to try to bring him down by Jackson.
Trouble.
Jackson just trying to cover up.
Yeah, Jackson's in trouble here as he's just getting drove all over this ring, and he's just getting pounded once he gets up against that fence. Right now you see Cooper just teeing off, and I tell you what, he needs to protect himself and get back in this. And Jackson comes right back out. Good job.
Yeah, that was a good couple of shots there to just give himself a little real estate.
Yeah, he looked to be in some really big trouble there, and I don't know if he's out of the woods yet, but he's done a great job of warding it off. And right now, Cooper just teeing off again as Jackson covers up right there on the edge.
And there he comes again with a flurry to get himself back in the middle of the mat.
Tell you what, I like the heart of this kid here in Jackson. He's got some heart. He's taken a pounding so far in this round, and he just keeps coming back and finding a way not to go down.
Yeah, there's a big kick with the left, and again, trying to go. You see a little cut over the left eye of Brandt Cooper. We'll see if that makes any difference, even though he's been the one on the offensive pretty much this entire second round. And there's a nice kick up to the head with the left.
Yeah, it was a great head kick there. It was kind of blocked, but it's still connected pretty square.
This round about to be over as well. What a job by Eric Jackson keeping himself in this fight for now. As right at the horn, a good shot there by Jackson, but he has survived another round, and that was definitely something that you have to keep an eye on here, is because it looks like Jackson, unless he comes out with that aggressiveness we saw in the first round, this third round could be real trouble for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He got it handed to him right there in that second round, as I would say Cooper definitely took that round, and Jackson, I think, might have took round number one with the early action that he had. So this last round could be a deciding factor here, and Jackson needs to come out, find that second wind here as he comes out and looks to get back to those punches that he was landing so confidently there in that first round.
And one thing you got to remember as well is the fact that Cooper has already been warned for illegal fighting back in the first round.
Yep.
So when you look at that, there's going to be one thing that you're going to be paying close attention to if you're Brandt Cooper. That's staying legal because this fight is yours to win if you can do that.
Yep, absolutely. And right now, both fighters, I'm sure fatigue's starting to kick in. Like I said, you got to keep them hands up. Otherwise, anybody can get caught at any time here.
Here we go, and Cooper getting the crowd riled up here, and he should. He is in the catbird seat, being told by Ben Wilson to get back in his corner. And now we're going to fight. And he says, let's go. They're having a good fight. They're enjoying it.
Yep.
This is a great first fight to open things here at Tru Rev 33. Jackson, we mentioned, hasn't won. It's only his third fight since returning after about a 6.5-year hiatus. And he hasn't won since January of 2010.
Wow, there's a good connection right there by Jackson as he just throws almost a half Superman right hand that connects on Cooper, and Cooper kind of threw that one off as he could tell it connected pretty good, and now the blood starts to run down that eye of Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper already had that cut open from an earlier round, and here's Jackson going right after him, right up against the cage here. And now the roles have been turned, and once again, a lot of blows being delivered by Brandt Cooper, and again, Jackson resorting to try to just cover up and survive this flurry. Yeah. Now he drops in on a leg.
There's a guillotine right there.
He's got a guillotine on the back end, and that's going to be danger time, but Jackson trying to block it.
He did. He went away from the guillotine as he had a half guillotine there. I think he could have locked it up, but right now he's just focused on pushing Jackson away and continuing to land those blows and stay on their feet.
Yeah, he comes with a knee for the right, and now with a bunch of right hands to the side. Jackson just trying to hang on, see if we can get it to points, but Cooper, he's looking for the knockout blow.
I tell you what a heck of a fight here to start off Tru Revelations 33 here as these amateurs are getting after it here, Emery.
And there's another shot, but again, coming up high with a couple of knees, a couple of blows here up against the cage. Jackson trying to fight off one another. Look at these knees and the blows up against the cage. This has been the last 2 rounds, really, the story for Eric Jackson.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, Cooper's doing a good job of pinning him up against that cage, and he's really able to land anything he wants with those knees, and then he'd pop out and land a couple combinations to the head right there. Wow, that was a big right hand by Cooper. And Jackson's still trying to keep his hands up, fight this off, and get through this round, but Cooper's just teeing off on him right now.
He's got a little bit of time to try to hang on to it, but I can tell you this. Brandt Cooper is not leaving it much up to debate these last couple of rounds. Jackson's going to have to catch him here if he's going to have any hope of picking up his first win since 2010. And he continues to knee the body, punch the body, come up with whatever he can. Right up here against the cage. This is where they've been positioned for the last minute or so.
If I was Jackson here up against that cage, I'd be trying everything I can to be able to rotate off of that cage and get back towards the center of the ring and separate, because right now you're just taking a pounding right there up against the cage. And again, Cooper starts to tee off.
Comes with some more knees, more punches, and he's really been wearing the body down since the beginning of this fight. Now he gets into an even more offensive position, and Jackson's just trying to get himself a little bit of space. As it stands right now, though, it is tough sledding here as we get set for this third round to come to a close. Last 10 seconds here. What does Jackson have? Cooper just hanging on, and now a lot of shots at the end, and that is going to be it.
Wow, what
Brandt
a fight.
Cooper, what an outstanding job, and what a job by Eric Jackson just to survive through the end of that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot of heart out of that guy right there is Jackson, because he was caught up against the cage a couple of times, really hurt in that fight, and he did a great job of being able to just stay on his feet and not have to end this to blows. And wow, that's some heart out of him, and what a fight there to start the first fight of the night, and we already go 3 rounds. And
yeah, this was not your typical amateur fight you'll see. I mean, you just see a lot of guys getting caught at this point, but you can see Brandt Cooper there celebrating, feeling like he's got this one locked up, and the crowd giving him a good hand, and as is Eric Jackson's corner. I think everybody knows where this fight is going to go, but before we go any farther, we have to mention this has gone to a decision, and we have to wait for the judges to get their scores in. After the scores come in, then Mike Savage will come in and deliver the decision results, but I think we can agree this one pretty decisively in the favor of Brandt Cooper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cooper entered at 7-6, but winning 3 of his last 4. On the other side, Jackson, for the last 5 fights he's lost. Here is Mike Savage.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for these 2 warriors getting the tone of the evening going all 3 rounds. We go to the judges' scorecard. We do have a unanimous decision. Judge number 1 scores the bout 30-27. Judge number 2 scores the bout 29-28. Judge number 3 scores the bout 30-27. Your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Brandt Cooper.
Win here and Tru Rev 33 to get things started, and just like we expected, a fantastic fight to get things going here tonight. Let's go ahead and go back to Mike Savage.
Congratulations, Brandt, able to go all 3 rounds. Almost looked like he was trying to do a little rope-a-dope on you. Came out, covered up, but came out swinging. But at the end, the judges, all 3 of them saw it your way. Talk about your performance here tonight.
You know what? I just came in with the mentality that I always have. I'm here to eat. I'm here to kill. I ain't here to play around. And at first, he was applying a lot of pressure. I expected that, but as usual, I outlasted him with cardio and took him the rest of the way.
I know you've got a bunch of folks that are here to support you, and people I'm sure you want to thank here tonight.
Everybody that comes out to support the MMA and everything, really appreciate it. My boys Phil Aarons and Dominic Martin came up here, helped me cut weight, and came up here to corner me, kept me company and whatnot. Shout out to Eric Jackson, came in here, win all 3. It was a war. Bob Jolly for having me on the show, and hope we started off right for everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by unanimous decision, Brandt Cooper.